Welcome to the Here's My Story channel. I'm Melanie. I was surprised when I couldn't find my mom in the kitchen that morning. Mom, where are you? I called out. My mom whispered back, Shh, Melanie, please be quiet. I walked toward the sound of her voice. She was ducked down right in the middle of the living room. I whispered, What's going on? My mom was embarrassed. I'm hiding from Mr. Carter, she said. Mr. Carter, the landlord? Why? I asked. Because this is the second month I haven't paid the rent. Poor guy finally had to come knock on our door, she replied. Why aren't you paying the rent? I asked. I've been unemployed for 3 months. I'm sorry I had to hide it from you. I didn't want you to be upset, she responded. Suddenly, Mr. Carter began banging on the door. We looked at each other anxiously. We held our breath and waited for our landlord to go away. It was easier for me to find a part-time job, so I began looking for one the next day. I found a night position at a spa. I was going to collect the towels the clients used and take them to the laundry. Pay was low, but I was so happy to be able to help my mom. After school, I'd go home and do my homework. Then, I'd go to work. We were supposed to wear a uniform with a hat and an apron. I would change into my uniform and go to work. This was the first time I had seen a spa. This place was famous for its massages. Customers paid our monthly rent for an hour-long massage. We even had regulars that showed up every single day. I was surprised that people who could spend a fortune on a massage existed. It turns out there are people even richer than that. One evening when I went to work, I saw that there were no customers. I said to one of the massage therapists, Is the spa closed today? No one told me anything. The massage therapist said, The spa is open all right, but we'll be serving only one customer today. She's the daughter of a very wealthy family. She comes here twice a month. The spa doesn't take any other customers that day. But don't worry, she's not a snob, even though she's a billionaire. She's lovely. After a while, the expected customer arrived. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was as if I was looking into a mirror. She looked just like me. She didn't realize a thing because I had my hat on. She smiled when our eyes met. I think you're new here. My name is Juliet. What's yours? She asked. I was still in shock. Melanie, I stuttered. So nice to meet you, Melanie, she said, and headed for the therapy rooms. There were bodyguards everywhere. About 3 hours later, I heard the bodyguard saying, Miss Juliet is leaving. After a while, I entered the changing rooms to pick up the wet towels. Juliet was still there, and she was crying. I'm so sorry. I thought you left. I'll come back later to get the towels, I said. Juliet wiped away her tears and said, Will you sit with me for a minute? I don't want to be alone right now. I sat beside her. She put her head on my shoulder. I have my graduation ceremony coming up next week. My dad said he would come, but then he told me he would need to be in a meeting in Argentina. Then he asked if I would forgive him if he got me a new plane. He's already bought me 3 planes. He does this whenever he wants me to forgive him and see that he cares, but he doesn't care at all. He doesn't even remember buying that plane. Then she looked at me. When you go back home, will you hug your mom for me? Mothers never do anything like this. I don't have a mother. If she was still around, she wouldn't leave me alone on my graduation day. I teared up. I don't have a father. I grew up missing him. My mom can't make it to my graduation either, because she finally found a job after a long period of unemployment. I don't think she can take time off. With a smile, Juliet said, I think we're going to be really good friends. We have so much in common. We have more in common than you think, I said, taking off my hat. Juliet screamed. I don't believe it! Girl, are we twins? I feel like I'm looking at myself in the mirror right now, she said. I thought the same when I first saw you. I said to myself, we are proof that everyone has a twin, and added, if you have a heart-shaped mark on your ankle, then I will definitely believe it. Juliet showed me her ankle and said, Of course I do. I'm proud of its shape. I'm proud of my mark, too, I said, showing her mine. Juliet was so excited, she was out of breath. I was born on April 17th, 2005. You? I screamed. Me too! This was a really bizarre situation and couldn't simply be a coincidence. But Juliet said her mom died during labor. My dad died in a car accident when I was 3 years old. If we hadn't known about these, we would have believed that we were twins. I said sadly, Shoot, I wish we were twins separated at birth. I think there's still a chance. What if your mom is lying to you and my dad is lying to me? Maybe this is their biggest secret and they're hiding it from us, Juliet responded. That only happens in the movies, I said, laughing. We can play a little game to figure this out. "Do you mind taking your uniform off? Let's see if it'll fit me as well as it fits you," she said. When Juliet told me about her plan, I couldn't believe it. We were going to switch places for a day. I was going to go to her home. She was going to go to mine. We were going to figure out if my mom and her dad were lying to us or not. First, I began telling her all the things she needed to know to pretend to be me. What's our home address? How do I greet my mom when she gets home? What words do I use most? What's my bedtime? She took notes as I went on. My mom wasn't going to be able to tell she wasn't me. Then Juliet did the same and told me all about her life. We could switch lives now, and that meant I would get to live a billionaire's life for 24 hours. 10 minutes later, I was in a luxury car driving towards Juliet's family mansion. I was incredibly excited. When the car stopped, one of the security guards came running to open the door. When I saw how glamorous the house was, I yelled, "Oh my God!" Guards stared at me surprised. It made no sense for me to say that. This was my house. "Oh my God, I'm graduating soon!" I yelled again to distract them. I hoped it would make them forget my previous reaction. Juliet told me her room was the 4th one on the 2nd floor, but there were so many stairs and rooms, I got confused. I began opening every door in the mansion one by one, trying to figure out which one was Juliet's room. I walked around in a daze, but I finally found my room. Juliet's room was twice the size of our house. I jumped into Juliet's giant bed. This was the softest bed I'd ever felt in my life. It was so big that if we were to have a slumber party, 10 of us could fit into it. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. A maid walked in. "Your father's waiting for you in the Lion Hall, ma'am," she said. My heart started pounding. Juliet's father could figure out I wasn't his daughter. I followed the maid, feeling scared. There was a big room with lion statues at the door. My father, actually Juliet's father, was sitting in a big chair. "Did you forgive me?" he asked, pointing to the seat right next to him. I was so excited that I couldn't say anything. I just nodded. "I'm going to get you a wonderful private jet. It will be so fast that you can have lunch in New York and dinner in Istanbul," he said. When I didn't respond, he said, "What's wrong, honey? Is that not enough? Then let me get you a helicopter that you can go to school with." I was tongue-tied. As I was looking around, I saw a painting on the wall. This was my mom. I got even more excited. Because I had switched places with Juliet, I couldn't ask who she was. Suddenly, the door opened. Juliet was holding my mom's hand. She was almost dragging her. My mom said, "Stop, honey, you're going to fall down." "Look, Dad, look who I dragged in," Juliet screamed. Juliet's father's eyes got wider. Juliet showed my mom the painting on the wall. "Mom, this is the painting I told you about. This was you, but my dad lied and told me it was a picture of a family elder. Thanks to this painting, I knew who you were right away," she said. Juliet opened her arms. "Melanie, my sister, we're twins. Our parents got divorced when we were born. Mom took you, and Dad took me," she said. I ran to her and we hugged. Then my father came and hugged us both. "Melanie, not a day has passed by that I didn't think of you. I can't tell you how happy I am. I couldn't even imagine seeing my 2 daughters together," he said. My father turned to my mom. "Miranda, please forgive me. I've thought of you every single day. At night, I cried my eyes out looking at this painting. I was a bad husband. Unfortunately, I became a bad father too. If you become my wife again, I promise that I will change," he said. My mom didn't answer. She just smiled. Then she opened her arms wide and said, "My lovely daughters." She held us in a warm embrace. That night was the biggest and happiest shock of my life. I still can't believe what happened. I found my lost twin and my father is a billionaire. I keep saying it out loud to myself to be able to believe it. My mom told me all about the truth she had to hide for years. My father wasn't there for our birth. My mom was in labor, and he was having fun at a club with another woman. She filed for divorce right away, but the judge gave one twin to my mom, the other to my father. My father lost her trace, but he never remarried because he was still in love with her. From my mom's story, I felt that she was both angry and heartbroken. More importantly, she doesn't trust him. My father comes to our house every day to beg my mom to take him back. She always refuses. At the same time, I can see that she loves him too. Juliet stays with us for most of the week. I'm not surprised at all that she leaves her billionaire life to come to our place. After all, her loving mom and twin sister are here. Like her, I am living my best and happiest life at the moment.